We need to get back to some of the more technical stuff now after having a little bit of fun with materials and stuff. The first thing on my list here is for the site plan, we need something called a pad. If we go to any one of our sections, okay, you can see the earth here. This is the topo surface. Now, I can click on here, first of all, in any view and say hide either the element, this one object, or all of the topo surfaces in this view, and it'll disappear. And that may very well solve your problem, okay? But you may want to, in fact, you can see plants are turned on here too, so I might also want to hide that category. So as we're adding site and stuff, information, that is going to be populated over here on our views, right? So if you don't want to see the trees and shrubs, then you need to go into those views and turn them off. But in the meantime, during sections, in sections specifically, we're going to see that topo surface. And what we want to do is we want to more or less form an excavation pit that will remove that material. So watch how we do this. We go to the site plan, okay? We go to our site and topo tab up here on the ribbon, and we are going to create something called a building pad. Okay, adds a building pad from the closed loop, create a closed loop in a sketch, and it either adds or removes material depending on where the elevation and thickness of the pad. In the animation you're seeing there, it's removing material, but if you actually elevate the pad, it will actually add material. And the next thing I should say, of course, is we're only going to do one pad here, but it is an interesting topic. I encourage everyone to go to our website, to the Revit CAD Clips page, and search on the left for the word pad, P-A-D. There's lots of CAD clips on it. Doesn't matter what the discipline or what the version of Revit is, as long as you get the information. So we're going to start by saying a building pad. Click, and right away we go into sketch mode, okay? And I think mainly that's because there is only one topo surface. I think it might ask you to pick a topo surface if there's more than one, but I'm not sure. So what I need to do is form a closed polygon right now. And I'm seeing the roof here. So what I want to do is probably go to top of footing. Now I'm seeing the foundation wall. Okay, so when I form this closed polygon, okay, I can use rectangles and circles and arcs and splines. I can pick existing geometry, or I can pick walls, just like when we do a floor and a roof. And the good thing about creating a pad when you say pick walls is it'll read where the wall is, and if the wall moves, the pad will adjust accordingly. And it's funny, it's called a pad, but really the pad, when it's suppressed, removes material. Okay, it's almost like the building pad, I suppose, the bottom of your bearing surface. Think of it that way. The pad itself can have thickness. So it has thickness because if you go into your edit type here and you go into structure, it's called pad 1, and it does have a thickness. It's a foot thick. Okay, I'm going to change this down to be just 1 inch thick itself. Okay, and now I'm going to say okay. And now I'm going to say pick walls. And watch, I'm going to go pick, pick, pick. Around I go. Okay. Notice there's a flip line here. I can flip to the inside if I want. Okay, so that's really it. Okay. Look, top of main floor, offset of 0. Just take note of that. Okay. Finish. Click out. Okay, let's go to this cross section. Click, click. Okay, so we do have a pad in here. Okay, if I hover over the edge of this wall and I go tab, 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 I'm looking for, now I can't seem to find that pad object in here. Okay, let's go to our visibility graphics, or let's go behind the screen here and see if it's being hidden by something. Hover over here, tab, tab, tab. No pad there. Okay, back over to here. Now, did it go down in the top of footing? Oh, what's that right there? Grid line, tab, no, it's not there. Okay, let's go back to top of footing. Okay, let's see if it's here. I have a suspicion that the category is turned off. Tab, 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 tab. See, it's once you draw a pad, it's hard to find it, and that's because by default it's not turned on in the view, I don't think. Okay, so I'm going to go up here to visibility graphics. Watch, view, visibility graphics override, and I'm going to go down here to site. I'm going to open it up. No, pads are turned on. Okay, so where did that pad go? Let's try clicking another section here. And let's check in this view and see if pads are turned on. Site, pad. Yeah, it is turned on. So let's zoom over and let's do a crossing box. And let's do a filter. It says, well, there's one pad in there. So let's go like this. Click and hit OK. Ah, there it is. It's only 1 inch thick and it's up at the main floor. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take this pad first of all and I'm going to make it 1 foot thick. Hit apply, hit apply, hit OK. Aha! Now I can see it better. That making it 1 inch thick was a bad idea. Now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick on it and I'm going to drop it down. Okay? There's a difference between editing the thickness of it, okay, and moving it. Watch what happens. Okay, I'm going to take it and I'm going to nudge it down. Nudge, nudge, nudge. Watch what happens as I nudge it down. Ah, it's removing the earth. Now I had it up too high originally, so I'm going down, 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 down. And it's following that wall edge because I picked the wall originally to do it. So then I can go down and pick out. Okay, there would be my excavation line. Okay, that's the pad. Now this is the pad here. Okay, so watch. As I move the pad, I can move it up and down. It's based on originally on top of main. I probably should have set this to be top of footing with an offset of 0. That would make more sense. There you go. And then if you make the pad thickness the same thickness as the footing itself, voila, you end up with that. Now what you do is you actually take the pad and you hide it. Now what's this right here? Oh, that's a grid line. Different. Okay? So that pad now will show up in all the sections. Okay, every section that we have, there's that 3D pad. The only difference is in each view, I need to probably go turn off the element. Okay? And now this again is just that grid line. And that there is the footing line beyond that you're seeing. So you end up with this. Now if you want to crop that differently, then you turn this on. And then you can crop this up if you want. And then hide the crop region. So you end up with something like that. Let's turn that crop region back on again. Let's pull this out a little bit. Okay, and turn it back off. Good. Let's see what our other sections look like. Section 2, good. Section 1. Oh, section 1, I turned it off. I need to go into here, take my earth, and unhide the category. And back to here. Okay, so there's that pad object. So I can pick it in any view. So watch. If I hover over here, there's the pad that I created. Now watch. I'm going to nudge it up. I'm nudging it up, nudging it up. If I want to change the shape, I say Edit Boundary. It's going to force me to pick a view perpendicular to the profile, and then I open that up and away I go. Okay, so that's the footprint of it. It has a vertical elevation, but the pad itself has thickness. And by default, when you go in here, it doesn't really have any sort of material or anything, so it doesn't really do anything. The thickness, it just removes the material. Again, we have lots of lessons on pads, so there's more information than just that. I encourage you, if you want to look at any more, then to have a look at our website and do a search. So now, can I align? Let's try it. Modify, align to here, this. Perfect. Escape, escape. If I change the thickness of the pad, watch what happens. The thickness of the pad is 1 foot. If I change it to be 4 inches, hit OK, okay, then it does this. So then I just, would have to move it down. So you can make the pad infinitely thin and it's a bit deceptive. So the pad itself has thickness and material. So if you wanted it to be concrete, you could move it right down to here. Okay. You could change your footprint line to be over here, and then you could go into here and say, okay, the thickness is, 8 inches and it is cast in place concrete, right? So there's many different ways of doing using the pad. There's your cast in place concrete, and if I wanted to edit the footprint, I would go in here, edit the footprint in the top of footing, and then maybe, pull it out or something like that. Pull it out to the edge of the footing instead, right? I'm just going to exit that. Last thing is, what we usually do is, what I do anyway, I don't necessarily use material, etc. Okay, I usually just leave it with the default material, or else default pad or something. There's all the defaults in here. And then I usually don't give it much of a thickness. I usually give it a lesser thickness, but in fact I think I'm going to go with the 10 inches because that works well with the footing thickness. And then I'm just going to go back and realign the top of the footing to here, top of the footing to my pad. Escape. Now my pad, did I change that thickness? Is it supposed to be 1 foot or something? Must be. This is a 36 by 12. Yeah, so this has to be a foot thick, and then I turn it off, hide the element. Then you never see it. That line again is the footing beyond, right? If I go back to my top of footing, okay, what I'm seeing there is the line beyond. Similarly here. If I pull this back, then I won't see that line beyond. So that's our footing pad in place. It's going to remove and excavate that material from the underside of our building.